Hello.
Good morning, or good afternoon, rather, actually.
Hi, good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm doing all
You're
right.
making a grimaced face. You're making like a mm.
Yeah. Just I've been making this face for a little bit now. Um, let me just be clear.
Uh-huh. All
L-
right, let's see this.
Let
This is gearing up to something.
it's actually not.
Oh yeah, okay.
Let me be clear. I have consumed zero media this week.
Oh, zero.
I have consumed zero media. I have played nothing. I have watched nothing. I have done nothing. I have not looked at a screen outside of my phone and the one in front of me. There is nothing. Okay?
Is anything else going on?
Yeah, I'm building.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
No, this is not my way of saying holy shit, she's here.
Yeah, no, but that's just the question every week now.
I guess so, but
Hey, buddy, what's
yeah.
what's going on?
I mean, you'll hear it, you know. But no. I just have not. I'm not. None of that is happening. None of the internet game, like nothing. Um, I've been.
This rules so hard because
Yeah.
I was like sitting here going like, man, I didn't do anything this week. Hopefully Woolie got something to talk about.
I have looked at zero screens, and I mean, look, we'll wing it, we'll figure it out. I've been driving.
Yeah.
I've been getting that down. Been trying to
Mhm.
figure that part out and getting more comfortable with it. Um, you know, feeling all right about that.
Mhm.
There is a definite just time to learn on hard mode that comes from living in this city.
Oh yeah.
And you know how a lot of people grow up in, like, let's say a suburb or a quiet neighborhood, sleepy, you can like go out and learn how to do this in a
Go
parking
down to the
lot.
Zellers parking lot on a Tuesday.
Go
Ain't
down
nobody down there.
That's it. Go down to the parking lot and then do some roads, and then you're all fine and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, here, I mean, you can go off island essentially, but if you're on island, for the most part, you're dealing with aggro fucking shitbags and wild people swerving. You're basically doing Twisted Metal until
You're dealing with
you know.
famous traffic.
So I've been I've been exiting the Montreal island and going into some of the outside areas to try and ease my way through it. But yeah, I think I'm just, there's these little things that I've always disliked, I guess, about, I mean, so for the most part, we've said many a time, but like when you live in a city where, you can get around by public transport or Bixie bikes and walking everywhere because stuff is very interconnected. It's very common for a lot of people to not really drive because it becomes an expensive liability in many cases. But getting it at this point in time, a little bit later, there's these things where I'm like, oh, there's a part of this that's completely separate from the logistical reasons that I've disliked for a long time. And there's cool stuff about cars, but I just didn't have, I think, no one really went like, yo, cars though, when I was younger, and got me into that as a particular thing. I always thought motorcycles were cool. And my mom was also somebody who was like, no one is allowed anywhere near my steering wheel under any circumstances. She was just that type of person. So there was never even any like, hey, let me show you something type of vibe to it.
Yeah, no, my like in my family, every single time my sister got into a car, there'd be like some massive kerfuffle because my sister was like 4.5 feet tall and would just jam every single fucking thing to the absolute maximum for tiny people. And then my dad would get in and get stuck. Like between the chair and the wheel.
No, the annoyance, I'm sure the annoyance of just having to recalibrate everything stopped a lot of people from getting a shot at it. But my mom was just extra paranoid about anyone driving, or so. There was like one person, like my older stepbrother or half brother who was like a preacher, was like the only person that was responsible enough that she would trust, type of thing, you know. But
Oh, because that
anyway,
was Jesus
of
driving.
course, like take the wheel, you know. No, but really, what this kind of meant though is for me, at the very least, I've always disliked how little you can feel of your surroundings because of the size of the vehicle you're in. It's an obvious thing when you've been doing it for a long time and you just know instinctually where things start and stop. But I genuinely do not enjoy that sort of invisible space you're supposed to kind of understand about what you're in. And depending on the type of car you're into, like that becomes extra difficult. Um, I know that it's a matter of time and just getting used to it, but this is why I've always liked bicycles and even motorcycles as well, because I can tell where I am in space. Of course, the
Mhm.
safety factor is not rolling into this, but in terms of just like looking around and you know where you are outside in the environment, um, and you know, and I would even say like a convertible probably kind of like makes you feel a little bit more outside for the situation, but being inside a large thing where like you're gauging just how far from the curb you are in a blind spot to as you make a wide right is always just like, yeah, I don't like that part of this, you know.
Mhm.
um I mean, I know that newer cars certainly have like the little screens that you can fully see the scans and the multi-surrounding cameras around them and stuff, but essentially yes, I have a giant hurt box and hitbox and it's
But
invisible.
mostly hurt
It's
box.
mostly a hurt box and it's very
Unless there's a cyclist.
yeah, and there always is. It's a hurt and hitbox, and I'm, you know, trying to feel exactly the range as I go around the corner here and make sure that I'm like, okay, well, before you turn, there's a bike path, but there's also the parked cars, and then you're getting into that one. So like you got to extend out a little bit and you know. And I've been actually doing like pretty fine, and everything's like weirdly um like I'm like there is a part of this where like the sounds and feeling of being in a passenger for years plus as much as I get shit for it, video game driving as well. Like
Mhm.
there is actually a little bit of that to it where you're like, no, you know, round this corner a certain way and you know, accelerate here or like do that and pull up at the stop signs in this way, check and do all these things. um there's an overall thing to this where I'm like, yeah, I would have like probably always hated this aspect of it, even if I learned many many years ago. You know,
Mhm.
what do you think about driving?
Honestly, I haven't made as much progress as I'd like because I'm kind of a pussy. And I kinda terrified to get behind the wheel.
Gotcha.
I gotta be honest.
Gotcha. We're not that far from each other then.
I have a mental thought process that the instant I get behind the wheel and I don't check my mirror, everyone in my family dies.
Yep. So there's that. There's the feeling. There's the feeling of like with the car seat right there, you know, and that's the extra level of like fucking hey, you're right. You get this is a real responsibility. But I suppose to you know, there's an element to this where in my situation, for example, like I'm gonna be, you know, the one that's getting her to the
Mhm.
hospital, right?
Yeah.
So there's not much to there, like there's a direct mission that needs to be
Mhm.
accomplished on a specific timeline for a specific range of time, you know? And I can kind of look at it and go, all right, well, in general, getting comfortable and being able to be someone that can get, you know, the kid to soccer practice and all that, like there is a timeline for that overall general vibe, but in the immediate future there is a direct one mission that
Mhm.
needs to occur on a specific path that I need to learn. So I'm like kind of locked in on just that. And I'm like, I can do that. I can get the one thing, you know? I'll start there. But yes, it is absolutely a real thing to be like, yeah, the consequences of your decisions are right there.
Mhm.
And you gotta fucking find a way to parse that. Not fun.
What if there was a way, if there was something I could eat or drink that would just make all of my anxiety just go away before I started to learn to drive. Wait, what if?
Ooh, just gotta
What?
take the
Yeah,
edge off. This is
yeah.
this is real.
Isn't
This
that
is
safer? Really?
this is anxiety inducing. Let's just cool it down a little bit, you know? Get a couple road sodas.
No.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. But no, I guess that's sort of, you know, that's going to continue. And man, I can't believe the fact that they have that video footage of people complaining about drinking and driving and seatbelts being mandatory. That video is so wild.
I can't speak to the drinking and driving, but my dad was absolutely one of those guys who was like fucking pissed off about seatbelt laws. He fucking hated it. He absolutely would get like low key pissed off every time he went anywhere with me, my brother, my sister, or my mom. And he would get in and he'd start the car and he'd get a block and someone would go, "Hey, yeah, you should put your seatbelt on." And he like literally every single time up until like I was like 22, he got into the habit of it.
Man, so there's a moment that occurs that, you know, if you're fortunate enough to avoid getting into like a horrible accident, and it's the same thing that kind of like, as I was talking about.
And he's been in tons of horrible accidents.
Well, fuck. But the part that like, it's the same thing that kind of like made me think about more or twice about the motorcycling thing, which is I love bikes. I think they're rad as shit, but it doesn't matter what your decisions are. It doesn't have to be you. It just has to be the idiot next to you, right?
Or the wind.
Sure. But the whole thing being like, I'm fine on the basis of how much you control of the equation is like your control over the equation is so much smaller in that pie.
It's minuscule.
Of what causes the accident. It's so your influence is so minor, all things considered, you know? Well, again, I'm the quote is something to the effect of like, there are tons of dead pedestrians that have had the right of way, right?
Oh yeah.
And that same kind of attitude where it's just like, you can just be doing everything right and still someone else's absolute like madness and so complete inability to make decisions.
This is really
properly.
helping a lot. This is doing a lot.
Okay,
good for me right now.
Okay.
Specifically, that specific thought process of doing everything right and then you're dead. That's, oh man, is that exactly what I needed to hear? That was so good. Thank you for that.
You know,
I really appreciate it. You know, there's like, swimming's totally safe, except when you go to swim, there are 1 million sharks in the water. That's crazy.
My pleasure, bro. I mean, you know, just here spitting facts. Listen. All right, it's.
Did you know for a fact that if you don't see how your food is prepared, you don't know what's in it? Did you know?
Just take comfort in the fact that you have no control over the situation, and the best you can do is guide it somewhat towards the outcomes you prefer, but overall you're on someone else's path. You know, I mean, that's just what it is, you know. And every time you get in a plane, it's you know, it's infinitely less likely compared to car accidents. All right, look,
I never understood the fear of flying personally.
It's just because of the height and the feeling of it. It's just the complete lack of control and the, like, you know, when you do hear about it, like,
this is a discussion I had with my dad because my dad was a professional truck driver for a long time, right? That's why he hates the seatbelt. Because he would do deliveries in Montreal. So if you put your seatbelt on, that's lost time. Right. But like my dad's been in a bunch of accidents, and one of them he definitely caused on purpose.
Ugh.
He wanted to fucking finish his shift early, and so him and his buddy were like, we're gonna fucking plow the delivery truck into a snowbank, but there was a fucking fire hydrant in there, and they totaled it. Fucking moron, right?
Man, okay.
Won't get on a plane
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're dangerous.
No.
Won't do it.
Okay, so
Won't do it.
So we should and probably ought to have been thinking of planes as the same way you think of getting on a train or a metro. Like it's
Yeah.
it's just like this is a set thing you have no control over. It's going and it's probably like statistically overwhelmingly going to be fine, except for fucking Boeing. Except for recently. Yeah, but
my dad doesn't like he doesn't like trains either because he's not driving.
You're not driving.
And when I point
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
Dad, you've been in like a bunch of accidents, he's like, yeah, but I could do something about it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but you didn't.
No, it's numbers don't matter. You know what I mean? It's also looking out of a 50th story balcony, versus being on like a 3rd or 4th story balcony, where it's like they're both certain death, but like
Unless
but like one is just extra. Your brain is just feeding all the fear into it. And it's that like you're in a tube and it's fucking propelled and it's going, and you see every once in a while one of those news stories where you're like, did an EMP go off because that thing just went straight down? And
like that guy in Italy.
or that other one in Philly.
Oh yeah, okay. There's some dude in a propeller plane that just like dive bombed a fucking freeway just straight down.
Christ. So you know what I have? Okay, so similar to hey, fucking a Montgolfier, a hot air balloon.
Oh yeah.
Right. Would you ever get in one of those?
I've been in one of those.
Really? You got in one? Holy shit!
Yeah,
Did it go up?
I was like 10 years old.
Oh my god! And was it tethered or like free?
I don't remember.
Because
Some kind of
wow
field trip thing. I think it was tethered and it just like went straight up.
Because I have not consumed any hot air balloon media except for just the disasters that occur that I feel like I've seen. Like the last couple memories I have are just like, oh no, it went horribly
barely
wrong.
Moves. What are you worried about?
The ones where the fire goes up and it plummets down, and it's always at some place that had terrible safety regulations, and the disaster is just nightmarish. Or the ones where somebody's hanging out the basket because it's too burning hot inside, and they're chancing them the drop.
I gotta tell you, if there's a single balloon based scenario that I am personally threatened by the most, it is without a doubt 1 million times more over any other balloon based like situation, bouncy castles.
Oh yeah, that is new though.
Bouncy castles just kill your kids.
I did not like. There was that one horrible disaster. I want to say like maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
It was in Australia.
Yep. And then there
Got
was
hit by a tiny cyclone and just went straight up.
Yep. And then there was like 2 more, right? And then ever since that third, like that first one was like nightmarish, but I'm like, okay, no, now all I think about when I see a bouncy castle is just fucking typhooning into the air, death drop.
So to those of you who are going, what? So here's the thing. A bouncy castle is really light because it's basically just a big balloon, but it's also extremely large and wide. So it's basically just a square kite.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why if you get a bouncy castle, they're like, you must stake this to the dirt super hard. But sometimes some guy forgets a stake, or there's just too much wind, and it goes.
Yep.
And it just goes.
Yep, there's just too much wind. That's been a thing. I've had
like the disaster in Australia was properly staked down to the ground and it just got hit with a bad gust of wind.
Exactly. I have properly had rooftop kind of umbrella, like patio umbrella things set up where it's like, no, there's tons of counterweight on this thing, but it's just a windy day. It's like, it doesn't matter, there's a point where the weather will just take it over, even if you've done the I don't know if the engineering principles of like 200% strength apply to a bouncy castle necessarily. I imagine not. But recently I was at an event where there was one, um, but it was indoors.
Yeah.
And I was still looking at it sideways.
Oh, come on.
I was still like, I don't fucking know, man. These things,
That's ridiculous.
these things cannot be trusted. It's horrifying. And of course, yes, there's the part of it where the people who are on them are very small people. They're children, in fact, and they're not able to get off that thing in time. Nah, that's over with to me in my brain. Bouncy castles are super over.
I've never been in one, and I'm old now, so I'm never going to be in one now, but I'm definitely not going to let the boy in one.
Like, there's a thought where you'd be like, oh, what if you just jumped off in time, you know? And then you see, like, the castle that has, like, the netting on the side and the big roof, and it's a labyrinth inside, you know?
I gotta say, dude, every single person in the history of the world that said, it's fine because I'll be able to jump off in time was wrong. No. See, when I see the problems start to happen, I'll have enough time to react.
Right before you hit the ground, just jump off, and then you'll be like landing off a normal jump, and then everything else behind you will take the impact.
I don't know how accurate this was, but I remember seeing like a breakdown of like if you jump right before your elevator hits, all you're likely to do is just shove your feet up through your ass.
That
like. Because you're turning like a flat fall into like a pointed fall.
Sure. Or smash your head against the roof higher, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to time that shit. Yeah. If only physics worked that way. You know, you could always just sit in seat 11A. Right? That was the one seat that survived that plane crash recently.
Yeah, but it can't always be the same seat, right?
Well, no, but then
that would be highly suspicious.
But that's the one we're all thinking about now. And prior to that recent one, I was always thinking about that one from JoJo Part 6 because there's that one. They bring up the plane underground, and there's one seat that's the seat that Jolene's got to get to, and I've been thinking about that seat. But then, hey, if you're listening to this on a flight right now, I really apologize. This sucks. This is bad listening.
No, you're fine. Just don't look at the thing on the wing.
You ever are you a window open for comfort?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Because I think it's
cool to look out.
It is, and it actually helps you feel better and grounds you when turns are happening and stuff. I feel like that's a better thing. But there are some people who are not, and like that's big fights. You know?
Yeah, Paige is a window closed.
Yeah,
kind of person.
I don't want to know. I just want to feel the sensations. I'm like, nah, man, nah. If I can see the horizon shift wildly while a turn is happening, I'm like, I feel totally fine with that. But when you can't see it,
I don't mind it either way. Like I actually find like takeoff and landing like really relaxing. Like just like because like pilots probably know what they're doing, right? That seems like an important job.
Yeah.
So like
they're doing less and less.
Like I'll be like so if I'm really nervous about like, you know, if I had to go to the hospital, right? But once I'm in the room and a doctor has like looked me in my eyes, yeah, no, they got this. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Right?
Yeah.
But everything before that's under my control. I'm like, well, what if I trip and die in the waiting room? That would be really embarrassing.
You've also,
it could happen.
Sounds like you've never had a really bad takeoff or had one of those. Like when I was a kid, and I remember like flying to and from Grenada alone, or with my brother at least. We were kids doing it. Like massive ear popping pressure cabin shit, you know, that just made the whole process suck. You know, that
yeah, no, that's not fun. I mean, that's unpleasant, but I don't find it like scary. Also, in my mind, if a plane crashes, it's just going to touch the ground and just explode, and I'll die instantly.
But those are
but
it's only happening during takeoff and landing. Like it's almost never happening mid-flight, right? That's the other bit. Yeah. Whatever. All right. Anyways, transportation and how much control we have over it. My preferred amount, 0, but here we go.
That's also my preferred amount, but hey.
My fucking feet.
Life finds a way.
Life, it does find a way.
Oh,
But yeah, no, that's like I said, that's pretty much been it. I've just been doing that stuff. Looking into some of these devices because there's all kinds of, you know, machines and tech and things that have lights and bells, whistles, make noises. Fucking like.
are you at the part of looking at baby stuff and you're like, wow, this one looks really good. Let me check the reviews. Recalled.
Oh yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Or getting the paper note about that.
Cool. Sick. Good. Great.
Or, you know, even just the stuff where it's like, oh, this like puts out a sound that like simulates being in the womb, and you're like, ooh, is that what that sounds like?
I'm not a big fan of the womb white noise.
Yeah, that's some. Then you get some friends are swearing by it. You know, I'm like, let's look into some.
Oh, babies love that shit. I'm not a big fan. Yeah. I've been out for too long.
I just the one thing I'm concerned about is just like any of these like things that are really like help or aid, sleep aids and things like that. I'm just like, I don't want it to become a dependency where it's like you need this optimal, perfect, quiet comfort solution as opposed to just, you know, fucking sleeping on the dirt floor of the forest. You know, no.
Yeah, well, babies. No. Babies typically did not sleep on the dirt floor of the forest.
No. But as you know, as a person who can sleep under all conditions, I'm glad that I have that ability. But no, realistically, I'm just thinking of the anecdotes of like, there's two kids friends and family have had recently, and one of them has been raised and has been sleeping on their own in a big, large, empty library style room that's perfectly quiet at all times. And,
oh no! Oh shit!
And the sound of someone coughing or laughing a couple rooms away, and the baby's up. Versus,
you can overdo that in the other direction, by the way. You can actually make babies that can't fall asleep unless there's a significant amount of ambient noise.
So we don't want that. That's crazy. But I do have another one. I think I've mentioned before, a cousin who just passes out in a room full of people yapping. And I'm like, that's great. That's super cool. That kid can fucking adapt, you know?
Right now, we're not at the baby stage of going to sleep. Right now, we're at what I would call the demand stage of going to sleep.
What's that?
Dad, mama, this is a paraphrase. You're gonna read these fucking books, and if you do not read me these fucking books in the right order, I'm just not gonna fall asleep, bitch.
Yeah. A friend was telling us about like they recently broke the contract, which was one book and then a bonus book sometimes, but they made a no 3 rule, and then they did it once, and now it has to be 3 every time.
Oh, that's you fucked it.
You brought in the 3rd, and now there's no going back. You gotta read 3 books.
Me and Paige have a system where we each grab a book. He'll be like, I want Feelings, or I want Prince of the Night, or I want Pete the Cat, or fuck, what's the other one? Those are the ones that or Goodnight Goon.
Goodnight Moon.
No, Goodnight Goon. It's the Halloween version. I know. It's about ghosts and monsters and Frankensteins and shit.
That's unfortunate.
And we got him a new one called Pig the Pug, which is about an evil pug that steals all of his all the dog toys. And he points at it and goes caboose. It's awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, no.
But
like
one
me
apiece.
And Paige, yeah. So me and Paige will go like, okay, which ones you want? And he'll like list off a bunch of them. And then, Goodnight Bear. That's the one. I don't know how I forgot that one. I read it damn near every single day. And like, I'll read one, and then Mom will read one, or Mom will read one, and then Dad will read one. And then as the second person is finishing up, the first person will start hitting lights.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that book closes, all lights up. Okay, it's time to go to sleep now.
Yeah. No, you cannot entice a deal for a 3rd. I can see that negotiation going very poorly forever.
Yeah.
Like
No,
the moment you finish the third book, it's like eyes glow red. The contract has been sealed.
The real terror, the terror that has only started to happen in the past couple of weeks is the word again.
Oh, as in do it again?
Which isn't just do it again.
Oh.
And that's not a danger at night. That's a danger in the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah, no, because everything is new for kids. There's nothing that's old. Nothing gets tired. Everything's fresh. Like the same thing can be enjoyed infinitely for years because it's all new the whole time. Oh boy, that's a dangerous word.
Just as good right in a row. I think Paige read him Pig the Pug 5 times in a row yesterday. It took like 25 minutes.
Oh, that's a dangerous
and then
word.
Eventually, like, she looks over at me and she hits me with like, Dad wants to read it. And I'm like, I sure do.
Again, too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's the best kid. Oh man, we just went through like a milestone or some shit. Because like we went from like 4-word sentences to 6-word sentences and prepositions in the course of like a couple of days. Everything's a jump. Every day, the little drunk man that lives in my house is slightly more sober.
But as concepts are being introduced, again, danger is coming into the situation. Control over his realm is being exerted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's another world here that like
The best.
There's another world here that I'm kind of delving into, but like I generally prefer for the most part to get the things we need in advance and plan out for what anticipate what the needs are going to be. But there's some stuff that some
I mean, best laid plans, right?
Of course, but there's some stuff where some recent friends and family and folks who've had kids of their own have been able to share stuff they're not using anymore and be like, here you go, here's a thing that you could use and stuff like that. It's like, oh cool, thank you so much. That's been really nice and handy.
Baby clothes are a racket, man.
There's a lot.
Holy
there's a whole thing. But
the younger they are, the bigger the racket.
So there's a lot of temporary shit that it makes sense that gets passed on and such. Sometimes though, you get kind of when some of the things you inherit, you get kind of locked into that brand and its compatibilities. And at that point, then you're not necessarily going out to get a new thing that you need, but you're kind of having to look for things that already exist for what you have. And that means potentially diving into the Facebook marketplace.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how much of that has been an experience.
Yeah, we've done it. We've done a little bit.
Okay. Not a fan.
And then every now and then you run into like I don't even feel safe picking this fucking shit up.
Yeah,
I don't feel safe looking at this crap.
Just not a fan, and playing the games of communication to begin with, and you feel like you're like trying to date somebody back in the day, like getting left on red. you know? Like is the price so are you waiting for a negotiation and where are we meeting, under what circumstances, and did you include all the pieces? And then you get what you get, and then you're like, can I dip this in acid? Is acid safe for children? Is there baby safe acid to disinfect everything with?
My favorite version of this is like, okay, so how much is it? It's this. Okay, cool. When can we pick it up? Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yep.
What? We just agreed to the price and the thing.
Yep.
What? Why won't you get back? Don't you want to sell it?
Because 15 other people are sending the exact same message in the exact same. It's just Tinder, dude. It's just you going, hey. And them being like, yeah, everyone else said, hey, what else you got? You're like, in the photo, it looked like you were vacationing somewhere cool. God damn it, dude. I can't. I'm out of this. Like, I can't be pulled back into this trying to say the right thing.
Social media for purchasing is just a fucking nightmare. It's the worst. Sometimes you get a great deal because you run into like a human person
Yeah,
that's like a normal
yeah,
guy or
that's
normal
nice.
lady, and
That's
they're
nice.
totally chill.
Yeah, no, that is nice. One
And then
time,
that's the trick, because that's like, oh wow, that was like a really positive experience, and we got it for a steal. Let's do that again. Mm,
okay,
no, wouldn't
so
have done it again.
so like in one particular instance, I'm gonna just be real. There was like a
Yeah,
snoo fret new in the box,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, fuck it, I want that.
Hey, we use that. We
Yep.
recommend that. That if you can, it's pricey, but you can rent it.
Yeah.
It's less pricey to rent it. And like, holy shit, that thing's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, no, 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 I want to get one. And looking through, trying to get it other ways, and some of the other stuff, there's some stuff that was annoying, difficult to do, hard to deal with, whatever. But essentially, it's just a sleeper bassinet for your kid. And saw one of those, and I was like,
It rocks the baby when they get mad.
great,
It's very
awesome.
very advanced.
The hoops and hurdles to jump through for the rental or secondhand process and such were full of treacherous pitfalls, some of which included subscription services that you needed, that, or like a stolen snoo, it locks when you plug it in because the service knows that this is a stolen one, and then it doesn't use the services anymore because it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy out here in these streets. But there was one that was fresh in the box, and I was like, yeah, okay, done, run it. And didn't hear much, and then they said, hey, I'll take that, we're ready to go right away, ASAP, as soon as you can. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. And then
Oh.
I will if we can get this today ASAP, I will pay extra.
Yeah.
I will pay this much extra. Hey, we can pick it up today. We're here. We're home. We're right here. You can come get it anytime. Sounds great. Thank you. And I'm I
can't. By the way, this is tangential. I cannot recommend the snoo enough if that's something within your range. And like, here's the thing: you are gonna like the weaning off the snoo when they're a little bigger, right? Yeah, moving to a bed that doesn't move and soothe them automatically. Yeah, no, there's a weaning process for that. But I and Paige, we were like, yes, we would like to go through baby is having trouble sleeping at 6, 7, 8 months instead of 0. Because that 0 month period, that's the most stressful part.
Anticipating. I just as you're looking into it, you're like, yeah, that all works and does its thing. And that's why this company is like, hey, you need a license for that sleep. You got a license for that nap. You got to fucking the whole thing is just, I don't want to deal with the amount of people talking online about like getting one secondhand or renting it, and then it not having its features working or requiring some extra bullshit or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, just fresh in the box.
I think this is part of like a larger thing that starts to happen as you have children, which is that Woolie, you're a nerd slash geek slash fighting game guy slash content creator. These are all the hats that you wear, right?
Humongous dork, unforgivable.
By having children, you are more or less forced to reintegrate with the parts of society that you left behind long ago, and are reminded that, oh yeah, no, there's like a million different types of people that I don't want to ever have to deal with ever in my life, but I'm gonna have to deal with them now.
Hey, I knew this day was coming. I've been preparing for it. I can put on that hat. I can style shift into just old dad, new dad energy, and just put on that.
Well, that's where you cover yourself in judgment. It's like, man, get a load of these kids.
Right. Well, that's the bit, right? Currently, we're not in that.
Those parents must be dog shit. Holy fuck.
So we're not in that situation just yet, but there are
not yet, but soon.
There are some folks, again, other people in the same situation that we're starting to meet, and I can be like, oh yeah, there's some future tea to spill. There's some future judgment coming with some of these
hey, let me send
neighborhood moms. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I bet you I know what's coming right now
I do.
because
Yeah,
I
I'm
because
typing
I
something.
because I told yo man. Woo! I told Punch Mom about that
Yeah, you
one,
told her that,
and
huh? Yeah,
we lost our
yeah,
shit. Yep.
yeah.
So just and
Yeah,
you.
we're gonna. That's for you.
Yeah. No. So there's all kinds of just there's some judgment to be put on some people out there, some parents out there. There's some real righteous judgment you can carry out on some motherfuckers
One of the
as you
things
look
that
around you, and if you can bond with other parents while judging that one,
it feels
that
super
would be
good.
sick.
Oh, it feels really, really good. I think I look back on like I look back on like my mom telling me something that was supposed to be like pro social and pro kindness, which is me being like 10 years old and seeing like Eric's mom just completely lose her fucking mind in a Zellers and just scream at him. You know, like when you saw that shit happen, right? And me going, that seems horrible. That lady seems really awful. And a like for me, it was my mom, but like a family member would materialize near you
Mm-hmm.
to tell you, now listen, you don't know what's going
Mm-hmm.
on with them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what their family like. You can't judge. You don't have kids of your
Now
own.
take your pick. Do you want the Simpsons version of this where Gavin is complaining about Bone Storm? Where
Yeah.
did that parent go wrong? Or do you
Right.
want the Boondocks version where Grandpa reaches for the belt? Don't do that. Don't reach for the belt.
And then
You
I
can't.
look back, and
That's
now
child abuse. Don't
I have like a fucking 2-year-old now, and I can like mentally catalog like all the really crazy ones I saw through my life. I'm like, no, that's right. I was like 8 years old and I had it locked in. No, that was a bunch of fucked up, stupid shit. That was nonsense.
Man, like there's like that Boondock scene I just mentioned. Like you can't. There's nothing to talk about. But the energy that it represents does come from a particular thing in your childhood or my childhood where I'm like,
Oh yeah, okay. Let's be specific. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I get what this scene is trying to convey. It's fucked. You can't do it. It's a horrible idea. There's infinite studies that say it's just the worst thing. But I get what they're going for. Anyway, yeah, there's no way to just be like everyone in my family. We all got our licks. We all got our licks, and we're like, yeah, no, that's what it is, and I can tell it now with this tone of voice. And but of course, not everyone got their licks, right? Again, I kid down the street that didn't get licks. He got the one boot, and you're like, oh, that's not the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
So. Nope, don't chance it. Don't do it.
No, that's very different.
And even if but still don't you can't go in that direction in any way, shape, or form. There's a million studies that say that it's a terrible idea. But I get that scene, you know. Anyway, I was gonna say there's a thing here as well when talking about the Facebook Marketplace bit where you're like, you know, specifically stuff of a certain age range is likely to be covered in all kinds of horror, and your own babies is the cleanest, most. It's from you and your baby. It's like whatever. Who cares? It's gross,
Absolutely,
but whatever. Who cares? But the remote idea of it coming from anywhere outside the premises is so nightmarish that I'm like, that's the thing, right? It's just like how much is it worth saving over the idea of just contamination? You know, what is that worth? What is the monetary value of permanent contamination, Pat?
it's significant. Right? Like if I'm going to grab something that's like used, like so like, you know, we'll go down and we'll grab you know, some hand me down clothes like at a community center, right? And then when our guy grows out of his clothes, we'll drop his clothes off at the community center, right? but you bring them home and then they're like, we wash them. I'm like, that's cool. We're gonna wash them.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna wash the fuck out of them. But that shit's free,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like particularly in the really early one, like dude, this kid wore some outfits for like literally a week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like.
But how much damage
You
can
get
be
the
done?
brand new good stuff for the photo you said to grandma that says daddy's little best guy on it or whatever, right?
And immediately putting it on and coming out of the outfit, blowouts just going in all directions. And I'm like,
sometimes, not my child, my child would never do that, but sometimes you just gotta just give up on the scenario and be like, everything within 5 feet of me just needs to be thrown away. Other than the baby can stay, right?
But this all just the thing is that all of this stems from, inheriting something someone very generous kind of hands you and locks you into the aftermarket, as opposed to just being like, I'm just gonna get it fresh. And I'll just not have to think about this part of it.
Yeah, like one of the things that it's like, I'm well aware it's safe, right? And I'm well aware as long as you check the dates and you test it and all that shit, you could totally buy a used car seat. I could never handle having my kid in a used car seat. I would be absolutely convinced that they actually totaled the car when I wasn't looking, and the car seat is like barely holding together internally.
I mean, so fortunately, you can take it to. It used to be a fire station, but there's like people that can verify and look at it and be like, "Yeah, this is certified."
Yeah, they might be on the take. They might be in the pocket of big car seat.
Okay, well,
I don't know that.
The certification person we went to go see was quite nice and did examine and see that like, the date says you're good to go. There's an expiration on them, and we were fine. But ultimately, yeah, that is a thought. I'm more so thinking about the parts where it's like this stroller or bassinet or whatever is lay flat, and part of what you're supposed to do is if let's say all the poop is going one direction, you're like, okay, well, I know which side that's on. But rotating the baby is an important part of making sure that they sleep properly and their head doesn't have any issues and that everything's, so that means at some point that where the danger zone happened becomes where the head is going to be. And
you just really need to just tilt their head over. You don't have to fully 180 the whole guy.
We were told to 180 the whole guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah. But in any case, also for like changing what you're looking at in certain situations and everything. So, I'm kind of just...
As somebody who was very recently a brand new dad and also more incompetent now than you've ever been in your entire life, I hear a lot of... I think you've mentioned it 3 times. I've heard some poop planning ideas. You're going to want to just completely give up on that.
Please understand. The poop I've been referring to over the last 10 minutes is exclusively the poop from the previous children that owned the thing. It has nothing to do with the poop that is forthcoming from from our own kid.
Okay.
That is safe poop. That's green poop. I have no issues with that poop whatsoever.
I'm going to tell you right now that is not safe poop.
Okay, it's not safe poop, but nonetheless, it's poop that must be dealt with. There's just no way around it.
You know what's a fun thing I didn't know about until it happened? And I'm going to tell you right now. One of the vaccines makes your baby's poop dangerous to handle. The fucking which one is it? It's around 6 months.
Oh,
it's like
not RSA.
It's a gastro something.
I want to say MSV or RSV.
I forget which one it is.
Okay.
But like they'll give them the shot.
Okay.
And they're like, by the way, if this poop touches you in any serious way, you will get sick. you'll get like very ill.
I don't like
Rotavirus, I think that's what it was.
Okay.
And so there's like a 3 or 4 day period in which changing the baby went from hope I don't get poop on me to shit, careful.
Well, there's an easy way to avoid all these situations, isn't there?
That's right. Be careful.
Fuck. Yeah.
I gotta say, man, you know what? You know what? My local so we go down to the vaccine place to shoot him up with his stuff. And you know what joke I went with every single time, and no one liked it but me. No one thought it was funny but me, and I did it every time. And they would go over the vaccine schedule, and they would be like, "Are you sure you want to get these?" And I'd go like, "No autism yet." So yeah, blast him.
Yeah.
And like Paige would just like
they're not gonna like that.
Shut up.
They're not gonna like that. Patrick. Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
They like because they can't tell if I'm for real or not.
No, you can't. And that's
they think I'm actually just rolling the dice on
and that's the problem, because I've noticed in the talking about it from the healthcare professionals, they don't know where you're at. So they're just taking their chances to deliver things in a way that is as like, are you fucking nuts or are we cool? I don't know. So yes.
Oh fuck.
Absolutely.
And every time, like, I would think it was really funny, and then everyone would be mad at me, and then I would think it was so much funnier.
God damn it. Including and you know, much less like, one, we don't know if you're where you're at, and then there's a second part where it's like, also the way the immune system works is the more you load up in one shot, the stronger and more robust the effects are. So waiting for subsequent shots is actually worse compared to just fucking getting.
Oh, absolutely. So like our guy was like an absolute champ with all his vaccines. There was only one day that he felt like genuinely unwell, and it was like a double day. It's one of the ones where and man, this sucks, because you're like, oh, this is like really good for my little guy, and it's going to be like good for him in the long run. But there's the moment where they're like, okay, dad, hold both his arms to his sides as hard as you can so that he can't squirm while both nurses jab both arms.
Yeah. That's it. Just bane it up, 100%.
And it's like, oh man, this feels really bad in my chest, but it's good for him.
You see those videos where it's like, here's this doctor in China that's really good at being like, oh, we're playing a game. Pop doop. Look at my hands. There you go. Hey, whoa, oh, you didn't even see the shot that happened. Wasn't that crazy? And the kid's like, oh, what happened? Like, cool. Yeah. Now try that again while you're landing Aki's level 3. My magnum opus. Like, it's just not gonna work at that level, man. Anyway,
right. Paige just reminded me relatively early, but he was walking. The lady gave him his shot, and he got down, and then he ran away from her, and then he ran to Paige. And he like grabbed her hand and then looked back at the lady and went, no.
You just got to think about the insides getting stronger, That's it. Just go on a little Osmosis Jones adventure, or
see, I don't think about that at all. It's, for me, it's like really, 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 really easy. See, we live in British Columbia, right? And I love living in British Columbia. But British Columbia has a higher proportion of people that I have met that believe that the crystals are going to do just fine. And you're like, what? And like, oh, the crystals. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, blast this kid with everything you got, doc. Just give him everything.
It'll suck, but then it'll be great. That's just the way it is.
My kid's not going fucking deaf from the measles. Thank you, you fucking freaks.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, I don't even know if the word crunchy applies to that range of it, because then you're just getting into like full on woo. Um,
I love the term woo
woo
woo. I love
woo
it.
woo
Woo
woo. Yeah. That's what I knew before crunchy, and now I kind of distinguish them because crunchy does evoke the idea of granola. You know, a crunchy mom is very
Oh
much
yeah,
about the healthy
absolutely.
things, but the woo woo is like the spirits coming down
Yeah.
from the smoke. You know, it's like we're going into another realm entirely. Um. Anyway, that's a whole other bit. Um. The uh uh uh. Eh, I don't know if I brought it up beforehand, but like part of the reason why that perpetuates in a lot of cases too is because from learning about like the childbirth process, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's did you know the babies come out of that thing? That's fucking crazy. It's wild. Anyway,
Yeah.
um part of the
Right out the belly button.
uh part of that process has a lot to do with the oxytocin you're feeling and versus the anxiety you're feeling, and you know the process speeding up with good vibes and the process slowing down with bad vibes
That's
overall.
right.
And if you're somebody who gets good vibes from holding a crystal, then there are some circumstances where still like telling somebody to hold a crystal will actually improve
Dude, this is like
the
our magical
process.
birth journey
And it's
experience. It
like,
is so
God
mystical. We've never been more
fucking
open to the
damn it.
universe.
God fucking
Never
damn
been
it.
more open.
Because you get calmed down by the Reiki energy, it's
Yeah.
actually beneficial to bring the Reiki energy into the
Oh,
room. And it's
absolutely.
like, I hate this so much, but fine. It is what it is.
Good vibes only actually applies
Crazy.
during pregnancy.
Crazy. Yeah. And I'm like, this makes me upset that the world works this way. I'm upset at reality for giving you a moment of validation here, but so be it. It actually does. You know, can't that placebo shit, man, is real.
Placebo's good. I like placebo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially when I'm being placeboed. I hate placebo when I'm not being placeboed.
When
See,
you're
that's
on the
the
outside
tough
group,
one, right?
when you're not in the control group.
This reminds me, basically, Paige will be, hanging out with some moms, and they'll all be talking about their like all natural mystical birth experiences. And she'll be like, "Oh, they gave me so much fentanyl.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
I was fucking flying, and they cut that shit out.
yeah.
Oh yeah."
Yeah,
And
just,
like
who needs
some of the
crystals? I
crunchier
just saw
ones
she
will
just
be
said,
like,
give me some fucking drugs,
and
I'll
she's
shit
like,
this
"Yeah,
baby
it
out.
was sick."
No, that's that shit. Like, hook me up to the machine from Prometheus and just let it go. Let the
And
machines do their work. The most artificial shit ever, you know?
getting the epidural was very obviously a really rough time for my darling wife. Having the epidural was a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
not like it made it easier. I mean, like, great time with the epidural.
I mean, that list of ingredients that gets used, you know, during labor of things that are that are helpful includes some shit I was like, huh, word.
Yeah.
Straight
And
fit.
then you have the discussion where it's like, well, will it affect the baby? And they're like,
No,
nah,
no, no,
I'll
no.
blast it.
Way too late for
Go
that.
for
It's
it.
yeah, it's coming out way too quick. Like, go. You're like, damn, it's like that. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, as opposed to just fucking whatever. I have been.
Yeah, I can see you scrolling through your Rolodex of nonsense to pick one out at random.
The most recent one I heard was TikTok lady with twins who decided to go into the river and deliver alone with no help from anyone. Yeah, that turned out exactly as you can expect it turned out, right?
Yeah, I bet.
But hey, you hope your feelings are intact and justified from the. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
So
like
so
under the jail, man. Under the jail. I don't know.
I'm gonna go slightly I'm getting explicit permission to talk about this on the podcast. But Paige and I know somebody who is way overdue. Like crazy overdue.
Okay.
The furthest overdue I've ever heard of anyone in my life.
Okay, so
and Paige,
about 20 minutes ago when I screamed, it was because the number appeared in
was quite high
in the chat.
And Paige looks at me and goes, where do you think that person is right now? And I go, you know what? I don't know. But I don't know anything about this situation at all. I'm just gonna throw down in a dirty river. Sure enough, here comes the Instagram post about the miracle of life and shit in like a dirty ass fucking unsupervised river. And we're oh my god.
I hate you so much. You just
Woolie,
man.
Woolie, now here hey, listen.
Your attempt to control reality.
Listen, no, wait, hold it. This is important. It is not you or I's place to judge how a pregnant lady handles her pregnancy. It is our jobs to relate this story to our spouses and feed off their judgment. And oh yeah, I knew it.
There is a very large threshold, and through the process of learning about everything, I've even increased it further as to the plethora of ways that it's like whoever has to deliver in the way that they feel the most comfortable, whatever works for them.
Absolutely.
Because holy shit, that's a crazy process, and there's so much going on that we on the outside can't possibly relate to or even begin to fucking comprehend. At the point when the medical team is screaming at you, but you don't care because you just want reality to be the thing that it's not, but you hope it is, and everyone's life is in danger. Fucking hate you forever. You're the worst. I can't stand in your presence and not freak out the entire time.
You sound like some kind of stupid bitch who got tricked into drinking fluoride and getting brain damage.
Oh, man.
You dumb idiot.
If only there wasn't like...
I can't listen to this fluoridated nonsense.
If only it was just like self-inflicted and there was no like baby attached to the scenario. If only if it was just a classic case of just you doing it to yourself.
Like one of the things is like, you'll take measles, right? So if my baby's vaccinated, and I think he's got the measles shot, or that might be a little later, but regardless, I'm going to get him everything, right? And he could still, even with the vaccine, he could still catch it, but having the vaccine like dramatically decreases the likelihood of him getting any ill effects, right? He just gets sick instead of going fucking deaf or having, long-term problems, right? But like, you could still fucking catch measles because your dumb fucking bullshit wouldn't vaccinate your kid against the fucking measles. And I want to just shake this person and be like, your kid could go fucking deaf. Do you not give a shit about that?
But you see, and this is where, no, because the decision, like, there's a moment where you kind of go like, oh, when you're faced with the wall of your decisions, the weight of your decisions, there might be a moment where you snap out for a second, right? Perhaps there's a possibility. And it's like, no, because the previously mentioned TikTok twins mom, no longer a mom, was basically, already on her poetic journey about the brief meeting of life and how quickly it fleets, and it's just, and going into the spiritual whatever, as opposed to the responsibility of the thing that you have caused, and like you've already found a way to flower out the fact that you did this. You created this outcome instead of acknowledging what actually happened there. It
just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't in God's plan or the spirits or whatever you want to say.
You blew right past the red light where you were supposed to stop and take reflection of what you just did.
Woolie, I know you haven't played this game. Every time vaccines come up on my show when I'm streaming, I play this game. It's funny every time. Okay, you ready? You ready? We can play it right now because we have a live chat. Right? Okay, chat, get ready. This is going to be really good. Okay, how many of you didn't get any vaccines because your dad didn't want you to catch autism, and you still got the tism anyway?
Come on.
Every time. Yeah, it is.
That's a thing.
Oh, you have shingles now, dude? Oh, that sucks.
Oh.
Oh, there's 2. There's 3.
Oh, we got people that grew up oh, man. That sucks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no shot, literally. Oy. That's depressing. Okay, cool. Yeah.